Jets leadership shake-up. Rodgers denies involvement in Saleh's firing. The New York Jets returned from a 2-3 start to their season, only to face a major shake-up with the firing of head coach Robert Saleh. Owner Woody Johnson made the decision following a conversation with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, prompting speculation about the QB's influence on the coaching change. In an appearance on The Pat McAfee Show, Rodgers dismissed the allegations, calling them ridiculous, and asserting that he has no real power in the organization. "I resent any of those accusations because they're patently false," he stated, emphasizing his respect for Saleh and their strong relationship. He explained that his recent conversation with Johnson was routine and did not involve discussions about Saleh's future. Rodgers, who was in treatment when news of Saleh's firing broke, expressed concern for Saleh's family, acknowledging the human impact of the decision. The Jets Leadership Council met soon after to discuss the situation, stressing accountability and the importance of supporting one another during this turbulent time. As the team prepares for a crucial game against the Buffalo Bills, questions remain about who will call plays moving forward. Despite the Jets' offensive struggles, including a 27th-ranked performance, Rodgers pledged to support any changes interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich deems necessary. He acknowledged his own need to improve after a disappointing outing against the Vikings. While uncertainty looms, players like right tackle Morgan Moses believe it's up to the roster to execute effectively, regardless of who is calling the plays. With playoff aspirations still alive, the Jets aim to rally behind Ulbrich and turn their season around, proving their potential amidst the upheaval. Kevin Stefanski's stance on Deshaun Watson. No bench for the struggling QB. Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski faced the media again on Wednesday, and once more, he shut down questions about benching quarterback Deshaun Watson, when asked if there was any consideration to sit Watson for the upcoming game. His response was direct: no. Stefanski quickly moved on to the next topic, reflecting a broader reluctance to discuss the struggles of a player embroiled in controversy. With Watson facing over 20 sex crime-related lawsuits, the team's defense of him is becoming increasingly difficult to justify. When pressed on the decision to keep Watson as the starter following a dismal performance in a 34-13 loss to the Commanders, where he completed just 15 of 28 passes for 125 yards, 1 touchdown, and was sacked 7 times, Stefanski reiterated his position: "We're not changing quarterbacks." This unwavering stance persists despite the glaring statistics that paint a troubling picture. Watson's performance since joining the Browns has been underwhelming. In 17 games, he has thrown only 19 touchdown passes, falling short of the 23 lawsuits he has settled since his arrival in Cleveland. With each passing week, it becomes more challenging for Stefanski to defend his choice, as he lacks compelling stats or evidence of Watson's leadership to bolster his decision. As the season progresses, the pressure mounts for Stefanski to address Watson's underperformance more transparently. For now, though, the head coach remains resolute, opting to stick with Watson despite mounting evidence that might suggest a change is necessary. Jets fire Robert Saleh. What's next for a franchise at a crossroads? The New York Jets' decision to fire head coach Robert Saleh after just 5 games reflects their urgency to capitalize on a fleeting opportunity with Aaron Rodgers. The reality, however, is that they may face a daunting offseason, potentially leading to a full rebuild, a future full of questions. The Jets, who are in win-now mode, have built a roster filled with veterans, with 15 players aged 29 or older, including a 41-year-old Rodgers. They're banking on this season as their moment to shine, while young stars like Garrett Wilson, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, and Breece Hall offer hope. The overarching concern is whether this core can guide the Jets out of their long playoff drought. If the team struggles this season, they'll confront a stark reality. How do you rebuild when you've gone all in and missed? Rodgers himself hinted at potential changes in the future, stating, "If I don't do what I know I'm capable of doing, we're all probably going to be out of here." The challenges of rebuilding, finding a new head coach willing to take on the Jets' situation will be a tough sell. The franchise has the longest playoff drought in major American sports, and the uncertainty surrounding Rodgers' future complicates matters. He'll be a free agent in 2025, And with questions about his performance this season, a new coach might not see him as a strong foundation for the future. Ownership also looms large. Woody Johnson's tenure has been marred by underperformance, with a dismal 170-222 record since he purchased the team in 2000. A poor reputation can deter potential coaching candidates, making it hard to attract top talent. Despite holding most of their future draft picks, the Jets might not find a reliable heir to Rodgers in the upcoming draft, which lacks enticing quarterback prospects. The looming question remains: how do you build a competitive roster in a pressure-filled market without a clear plan? The path forward. Can they turn it around? Despite the tumult, there's still hope. If interim coach Jeff Ulbrich can rally the talented roster and secure a win against the Buffalo Bills, the Jets could find themselves in the playoff race. A victory would give them a 3-2 record and potentially put them in first place in the AFC East. However, optimism is tempered by reality. The Jets have struggled, and even a wild card spot might not suffice to satisfy their fanbase, who are yearning for a return to the postseason. If they fail to improve, they may not only miss the playoffs but also position themselves for a less favorable draft spot in 2025. The firing of Saleh is just the beginning of a challenging journey for the Jets. As they navigate the rest of the season, the real tests will emerge when it's time to select their next coach. Every candidate will be acutely aware of the potential pitfalls that lie ahead. 4 verts, Jets coaching shake-up, Gruden's return, and more NFL buzz. As Week 5 wraps up, we dive into the latest happenings around the NFL, from the Jets' recent coaching changes to Lamar Jackson's MVP campaign. There's plenty to discuss. 1. Jets coaching change. A band-aid on a bullet wound. The New York Jets made headlines by firing head coach Robert Saleh after a disappointing 23-17 loss to the Vikings. Owner Woody Johnson's frustration boiled over. But this move is unlikely to fix the Jets' immediate problems. Despite boasting one of the league's top defenses, the offensive struggles remain a significant hurdle. While Todd Downing will step in as play caller, the Jets' offensive woes stem from deeper issues, poor offensive line play and a lack of creativity that a coaching change won't immediately rectify. Aaron Rodgers must elevate his game, especially after a 3-interception performance against Minnesota. Ultimately, the Jets need a complete overhaul on offense to truly turn things around. For now, Saleh's departure feels more like a temporary fix than a long-term solution. 2. John Gruden's internet comeback, a mixed bag. Former Raiders and Buccaneers head coach John Gruden is trying to reclaim his place in the football conversation, albeit in a bizarre way. After being ousted due to controversial emails, Gruden has taken to social media, creating videos that are both amusing and perplexing. His recent TikTok features him reading NFL box scores while referencing his son's music, creating an odd blend of nostalgia and cringe. The internet is buzzing, but no amount of quirky videos will land him another NFL gig. For now, he's just providing comic relief, showcasing how far one can go in an attempt to stay relevant. 3. Lamar Jackson's MVP bid, the third time's the charm? Lamar Jackson is once again making a strong case for the MVP award. Following a thrilling 41-38 overtime win where he threw 4 touchdown passes, Jackson is on track for an impressive season. He's poised to throw for over 4.000 yards, with a staggering touchdown-to-interception ratio and substantial rushing stats to boot. With Jackson at the helm, the Ravens are a formidable force. And if their defense can stabilize under new coordinator Zach Orr, they'll be serious contenders for the Super Bowl. It's wild to think that not a single team pursued Jackson in the offseason. His talent is undeniable, and he's proving why he's one of the league's elite quarterbacks. 4. Browns defensive woes, a dramatic decline. The Cleveland Browns defense, once heralded as one of the best, has taken a significant step back this season. After ranking first in expected points allowed per play last year, they've dropped to 15th, with the same defensive coordinator and many familiar faces. The decline is puzzling. Myles Garrett and the rest of the defensive lineup still have the talent, but they're struggling to keep pace, exacerbated by an anemic offense that ranks 30th in efficiency. Deshaun Watson's lackluster play is putting even more pressure on the defense. which can't carry the team when drives consistently stall. Unless the offense finds its footing, the Browns risk a lost season. Aaron Rodgers' second act. A legacy in the balance. Aaron Rodgers is destined for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, no matter how this season unfolds. His 18 years with the Green Bay Packers, filled with 4 MVP awards, a Super Bowl ring, and 475 touchdowns, have cemented his status as a legend. But legends are often compared. Rodgers' move to the New York Jets raises questions about his legacy, especially in contrast to fellow greats Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. At 39, Rodgers sought a Super Bowl with the Jets, mirroring Manning's shift from Indianapolis to Denver in 2012 and Brady's leap from New England to Tampa Bay in 2020. Both of them won championships and transformed their new teams. So far, Rodgers' journey has been rocky. An injury in the season opener derailed his debut. And after 5 games, the Jets are struggling at 2-3, with only lackluster victories to show. The recent loss to the Vikings was especially concerning, leading to the dismissal of head coach Robert Saleh. Jets owner Woody Johnson claimed, "This is one of the most talented teams ever assembled by the New York Jets. But the performance has been underwhelming." How much of this falls on Rodgers? The offense has been dismal, scoring just 2 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks and struggling with turnovers. Rodgers' own stats, 61.0% completion rate and a 2.2% interception rate, are among his worst. Critics noted Rodgers' decision to skip a mandatory minicamp for a trip to Egypt. Manning and Brady, in their first seasons with new teams, showed up ready to work, holding workouts and building chemistry with teammates. Rodgers, however, seems to be taking a different approach. Despite his assurances that he wasn't responsible for Saleh's firing, the Jets brought Rodgers in not just to play but to lead. They hoped he would impart the winning mentality this franchise desperately needs. The narrative surrounding Rodgers' final years in Green Bay often highlighted the team's failure to support him adequately. Now, in New York, the grass might not be greener after all, as the Jets look to reset with a new coach and strategy. The pressure is on Rodgers. With plenty of season left, he still possesses the talent and experience to prove that his second act can rival those of Manning and Brady. His legacy is secure, but parts of it hang in the balance. The time for Rodgers to shine is now. Will he rise to the occasion?